and all that. But what they said is clear that KCCA should partner with credible and able local investors to develop and upgrade the city drainage system under the guidance, approval, and supervision of KCCA. Now, and they say in view of the fact that funding from the central government and donors was declining. This is their resolution. This is what they said. They said that whatever is going to be done on the channel must be done with the guidance, approval, and supervision of KCCA, which was not done. Everybody was surprised, including the KCCA leadership.
Plus, the Lord Mayor raised a red flag and told you there is wrongdoing and there is a sinister plot by your councillors. You simply said, you told them, you spoke to them. NUP, that stands for integrity. Ordinarily, what would you have done?
No, actually, first of all, let me also be very clear that this was a City Hall matter. The Lord Mayor is a political head at City Hall. And he has every right to summon all these councillors because they're always having council meetings and all that. This was not entirely a political party matter.
He sought
like
your political intervention.
That's what I've said, that when he wrote, we took interventions. And the interventions we took were to meet these councillors and try to get to understand.
You never had the courtesy to reply them.
I've said that when we took action, at least on our part. And the action we took was, first of all, engage with these people, try to understand. They had their own defense, which I've told you they can even come here.
Was their defense plausible, in your opinion?
Because, first of all, they were saying that because of declining funding, every season, every rainy season in Kampala, there has always been flooding. So in their defense, they said that by passing these resolutions, what they were trying to do was actually to ensure that the problem of flooding, the chronic problem of flooding, is addressed. Did they address it in the right way? Maybe not. Because that's why I've told you that according to them, and the resolution is very, very clear, it's in black and white, that whatever was going to be done with regard to drainage must be done with the guidance, approval, and supervision of KCCA. I want to ask you, if you see the letter written by the ED,
much later. It came much later.
You see, that's what I'm saying, that when General said, you see, when this resolution was passed of KCCA in April, nothing was done. The takeover of the drainage happened with General Museveni's directive. When Museveni wrote a letter, immediately they swung into action. They started holding the place, and that was it. They deployed the military and the police and took over the place. So, I mean, I was shocked to see the Minister for Kampala trying to distance herself from this mess, when, in fact, after receiving that directive, she's the one who wrote a letter to the Executive Director of KCCA, instructing her to allow HAM to go and hold, clear, and do everything that was being done.
Okay. Initially, when you saw the resolutions that your councillors had actually drafted, didn't you suspect collusion of any kind?
I have said,
with the local investors?
I've said that once we saw when this matter was brought to our attention, this is what we do. This is our standard practice. Once a matter of this nature is brought to our attention, we want to give a person a chance to be heard. So we read through these resolutions and felt that some of them were problematic, and we communicated directly to them, to these councillors.
Where's the record? Where's the record? You're a man of record.
But I've said that you just host any of them, they will tell you. We said that there should have been more consultation. However, the question is, was the resolution fatal in itself? And the answer is no. The resolution was clear that everything must be done under the supervision, guidance, and direction of KCCA. Now, whatever happened did not have the approval of KCCA. It was not done under the guidance, was not done under the supervision. You can see a letter from the Executive Director clearly saying that, they were also shocked to see that the place was hoarded, that the place was fenced off, and, construction works had started. They were also in shock. So, yes, while, like I said, while we think that the councillors, the city councillors should have done more consultation, everybody who is watching us and who knows how Uganda operates, I don't think anybody in their wildest imaginations can think that a resolution, if Museveni can ignore the resolution of Parliament, of the Parliament of Uganda, if the Parliament of Uganda can make resolutions that are ignored, who in this world can think that a mere resolution of councillors
okay,
can lead to the giveaway of
why
Nakivubo
didn't you find it prudent to reach out to the Lord Mayor to further understand the gravity of the problem?
Like
and
I
instead
said,
preferred to work silently
no,
to
first
deal
of
with
all,
your councillors?
And the Lord Mayor were engaging on different other matters, even in this whole period. You know, as you know, we've been discussing and dealing with all other matters. But this matter, as far as we are concerned, and as far as the party is concerned, is a KCCA matter. The Lord Mayor is the political head of KCCA. If there is a problem, you know, at City Hall and councillors to do with the speaker and all that, the Lord Mayor can convene a meeting and engage. I mean, you saw yesterday there was a meeting.
Given the collegiality that you have with the Lord Mayor,
but
it would automatically, when you see him raising an alarm, then you would realize.
That is what we did.
Because it's a unique situation.
We said that with regard to this situation, it was a KCCA matter. And the KCCA matter is handled at KCCA. Okay? And the other thing, you're talking about collusion. No, there wasn't any issue raised about collusion, because I've had several issues about corruption. Maybe there was corruption, there was what. If such a matter was brought to our attention, definitely we would engage, would start intervening in that matter. But this was about what KCCA has done in its powers, passing resolutions, versus what the Lord Mayor and his executive have done regarding this matter. So we thought that this matter should be handled at that level. But at least what I wanted to make very, very clear, abundantly clear, is that everything that has been done at Nakivubo started once General Museveni gave a directive and the minister
no, it started
of Kampala
with councillors.
communicated
it started with Counsel.
I've said, was there any movement at that point?
Counsel
and the
is dominated by the national interplatform.
I've told you that whatever was done
did not play oversight in trying to address the problem in time.
I've said, and I think maybe let me explain this for the last time. One, the councillors should have done more consultation on this matter. Clearly, this was both a political and legal matter. They should have done more consultation, and we communicated that very, very strongly to the council, to the councillors. Number two, we read the resolution and asked ourselves, is this resolution what the people are trying to make it? And we find that it is actually not. Because what they were saying is, KCA should partner with credible and able local investors to develop and upgrade the city drainage under the supervision, approval, and guidance of KCCA. So we said, yes, you should have done more consultation, but at least your resolution clearly said that the law should be followed. Now, whatever was done, or whatever is being done in Nakivubo, has ignored even the resolution. I also must remind you that when they started holding the place illegally, Council again sat. When they sat, this time around, they clearly indicated that they were, first of all, unaware of whatever was going on. This was on 25th August 2025. But of significant importance is that Council, on that 25th of August, made a resolution to stop whatever was going on. There's a resolution of Council. So those who are saying that Council has a lot of powers, please, there's even a resolution of the Council, which was clearly saying that whatever was going on must stop immediately. It was ignored.
Okay.
Because, why? Because there was a presidential directive. The Physical Planning Committee of KCCA, the Building Control Committee, the Department of Engineering, Physical Planning and all those were completely ignored. You know, and at some point you remember them saying that they went and tried to even supervise and there were goons who attacked them and blocked them from accessing the area. The MPs tried to access that area, they could not be allowed to proceed there. Which really tells
from
you,
your heart of hearts,
yeah,
is NUP clean on the matter of Nakivubo?
Absolutely. I mean, what do you mean? NUP is made of individuals. For example, at the party level, I've told you this matter was brought to us much later, and we took the action we could take. The councillors, you'll host them one of these days, and they tell you, for us, they gave us their defense, because what we tried to ask them, because we wanted to know, is anything that these councillors did, was it fatal? Was it something that, you know, because, you know, we had people saying maybe there was corruption involved in this matter, there was this, and we waited for any evidence, for any iota of evidence. It did not come through. And I can challenge you here and challenge everybody who's watching us, if there's any evidence.
What if there is?
it is there, we shall take action. You know how we deal with corrupt people in NUP. If anybody brings evidence against any of our leaders, be it Counsel or whoever, you'll see the kind of action we'll take. That's absolutely no question. If any evidence of that nature is brought, we shall take action. But for me, from my standpoint,
what's headlining now is that there was complicity between Ham, the developer, and your councillors.
I've told you that, and I would love everybody to read this, resolution and see. I've told them they have done more consultation because there are some resolutions which, in our view, are problematic, the way they were stated and all that. But at the bottom of it, the resolution was saying KCA can partner with local and other investors to develop the drainage system in Kampala, but it must be done within the law. We all know that there has been a problem. There's a problem with drainage in Kampala. True or false? It is there. You go to and check out all these days and find there's a lot of garbage packed in there. You know, the catchment areas, the few catchment areas that are there are full of garbage and all that. They do not do desilting the way they should be doing it as regularly as possible, especially ahead of the heavy rains and all that. So there is a problem. And what these councillors were saying, let's address the problem of drainage in Kampala. But it must be done in conjunction.
Yesterday, we hosted the Lord Mayor here, and he said, he expressed his disappointment that you were not able, at least to courteously get back to him, to resolve the problem. Do you realize, in a way, there could have been maybe negligence on your part?
No, I've told you that this was not a party matter, per se. Because you see, when our members of parliament, for example, are doing their work in parliament, the party does not come in to say, if someone has been appointed to be a chairperson of a committee, for example, we do not come out to direct them on how they should do work in Kosase, in whatever, in the local accounts committee, etc., etc. It is their duty, it is their role. The law sits with the members of parliament, guides them. Rarely does the party come in. The party only comes in when there is a red flag raised, especially about corruption.
This was a very controversial matter that pitted some councillors on the side of the Lord Mayor. Semufu, for instance, and two others.
The Lord Mayor did not say, the Lord Mayor did not tell me or to tell the party that he had either tried to convene a meeting and failed, because he's the political head at KCCA.
Okay, in terms of political responsibility, who is liable?
It's if you talk about political responsibility, it is actually General Museveni and all those who work under him, because he's the one who gave a directive. Museveni, after giving that directive, the minister moved to implement it. Then KCCA, the ED and others, the technical wing, found themselves unable to deal with this matter when it had now become a directive from above. And
but it had been endorsed by resolution number 7. Resolution number 7, ambiguous as it was.
No, actually, resolution number 7 they're talking about. Read it to people, because it talks about guidance upon supervision of KCCA.
We have it. We actually going to display
so the question
it
is,
in a few.
Was that done?
KCCA partners with credible and able local investors within their respective areas to develop and upgrade this drainage system under the guidance, approval and supervision of KCCA, in view of the fact that funding from the central government and donors was declining. And upon this, the Lord Mayor was very quick to raise the red flag.
Are you telling me that Museveni
the Lord Mayor thought he had been betrayed by Counsel, so he had to run to the party headquarters, who would, in essence, try to fix.
So tell me something here. What is wrong with this resolution? When you read it,
it is vague.
The point I'm making is, it is very clear that whatever is done must be under the guidance, approval, and supervision of KCCA. Number two, we all agree that there's a problem with drainage in Kampala, and that the drainage in Kampala should be developed and upgraded. That is a given. That is why I've told you there is a Kampala drainage master plan in place, which the regime has refused blatantly to fund.